Welcome into Pushing the Pile. I'm Mike Renner. He's Kyle Long, and it's our first ever mock draft. We're going to go back and forth, pick by pick, 32 teams, 32 picks because there hasn't been a trade yet.
Yep.
But it's kind of smokescreen season. We're seeing a bunch of different reports, whether it's Ashton Jency going 5 overall. We're seeing Shedeur Sanders could fall out of the first round. But we're going to give our back and forth and give what we think is going to happen in this mock.
Well, first off, as it pertains to these smoke screens we hear about, and even upstairs when we come into the studio, we get hounded by producers. What do you think of this smoke screen? What do you think of that smoke screen? Let me be honest with you. We did our mock draft. We've done our scouting. We've had our conversations about the draft, and I've shut it down. I'm off of social media. My brother
Zero dark 30,
my brother this morning is like, "Did you watch Last of Us?" And I'm like, no. I'm just hiding in my cave until the draft show with Mike Renner on CBS Sports on Tops. That's going to be this coming week. A lot of fun to have you, but let's get right into it with this mock draft, Mike.
Okay, let's do it. I got the number 1 overall pick since you wanted evens because a certain team drafts number 10 overall that I used to play for, and I wanted odds because a certain team that I'm the owner of is drafting number 23 overall. So let's get to the Tennessee Titans, where I am going Cam Ward, the Miami quarterback. No surprise here. I think it's not really a secret at this point in time. The guy's pro day was one of the best pro days I've seen. His ascension from, running the wing tee in high school to Incarnate Word to Washington State to then Miami, and just every single test along the way he's passed and gotten better year after year. Not obviously as good as the top group in last year's class. I think I'd have him behind all 3 of those guys that won 1, 2, 3. But it's not like, look at how that quarterback class fared as rookies. It's not as if Cam Ward can't completely turn around this Tennessee Titans franchise.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick. Obviously, being down here in South Florida, the University of Miami was on TV every single Saturday, and I'd always get my hair cut at a barbershop called the Nice Barbershop in Boca Raton. Great spot. They do a lot of great work. I need to go see them, actually. I need to get a fade. But they would always watch the Miami game, and they'd always say, hey, you got to watch this Cam Ward guy. He's going to go number 1. He's going to go number 1. And that argument started to build steam, and now we're sitting here. And Mike Renner, the brilliant mind that he is, picks Cam Ward. I trust you. It's a great getting off the dock point for us. At number 2, the Cleveland Browns. They've got really, really, really crazy decisions to make here. Obviously, they have been in hot water at the quarterback position with Deshaun Watson, but as it pertains to their roster, they can really make their strength, which is a superhuman strength with an edge rusher like Myles Garrett, they can make it even stronger. I would say my slam dunk pick, I'm sprinting to Roger Goodell with this note card in hand. It's going to be Abdul Carter.
Ooh, I love it.
Put these 2 edge rushers opposite one another. It's going to give nightmares to every single coordinator every single week. Game plans are going to have to get really creative to find ways to eliminate or try to slow down any way you can these 2 players. And enough talking about Myles. This guy, Abdul Carter, to me, has better than elite level change of direction.
Yeah, man.
Explosion. And his frame is one that has no wasted space on it. He's built like a cobblestone block. And yes, I know that there's some issues. He's had the shoulder, the foot that came up this offseason. But Abdul Carter, as an offensive lineman, when I look at what he can do, it gives me nightmares. It would keep me up as a tackle. I pray to God the coach would keep me at guard for this game because Abdul Carter's a nightmare. That's my number 2 pick.
The one thing that you didn't touch there, just to add, it was in his very first year as an edge rusher. Like, we've talked about, how great he is as an edge rushing prospect, how great he is. Dude could get insanely better. Like, we're still projecting. That's still the beauty of this, is you're still trying to figure out what that guy can be in 3 years. And for how good he was in, 9 months of learning the position of rushing the passer off the edge to what he could be then with 4 more years of seasoning with that physical skill set, Abdul Carter, to me, is the number 2 overall pick on the Cleveland Browns. But we'll see what they do, obviously, on Thursday night. But then the obvious pick at number 3, should they go Abdul Carter at 2, is Travis Hunter. You are picking, if you're the New York Giants, you are picking whichever one of Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter there, in my opinion. I am not looking at this quarterback class. I have a massive gap between Cam Ward and QB2 on my draft board. I do not have a massive gap between Cam Ward and Travis Hunter. The guy is nails. Him, Abdul Carter, and Cam Ward, those are like the blue chip guys you want at the top of this draft. So Travis Hunter, pairing with Malik Neighbors, gives whoever plays quarterback there a leg up.
Number 4, the New England Patriots. And there's been a lot of talk about a lot of players in the offensive line. Who's number one? Who's number two? Well, I don't necessarily think that this guy is my consensus number one, but the fit is there with the New England Patriots. They need help at the receiver position, and they need help at the offensive line, particularly the tackle position. Will Campbell provides you that stability, that versatility. Big number 66. He's done. He has the ability to do it all. He's got the build to play either tackle, guard, or center. And when I think about the New England Patriots and all that they've done over the course of their storied history, in the last 20 years, they've seen a lot of guys play on the defensive side of the ball, be able to interchange positionally, get off the ball, play linebacker, get at the edge, and rush the passer. When I think that the new age New England Patriots, they should lean on having guys with strengths at any position offensively, whether it be receivers that can help Drake May from the slot or outside or in the backfield, offensive linemen that at the drop of a hat can kick inside a guard. I love Will Campbell's tenacity, his competitiveness. I've heard him speak at the podium. It's fabulous. But what I love most about him is his recovery ability and pass protection. And there are often times where he seems to be beat at the beginning of a play that he competes his way back and out-leverages his way back into a position of dominance on a pass rush. That's what I like most about him. And I think he's a Vrabel-type guy.
I think he's, of the top group of tackles, I think he's most NFL ready. In terms of just like the guy's played 3 years in the SEC. He started as a true freshman. Now, so did Kelvin Banks. Now, obviously not in the SEC the entire time, but 3 years as a starter. Armand Membu took over as starter midway through his freshman year. So all those guys were showing talent very early on to be starting in their freshman seasons. But Will Campbell, just technically, consistency in terms of his hand usage, in terms of his footwork, it's probably the best in this draft class. I just have a little bit more concerns with him and his physical profile translating to the next level, the wingspan and whatnot. But for the New England Patriots,
put him at guard, make him an all-pro. Put him at center, yes. Make him one of the best in the National Football League. Offensive linemen get very expensive very quickly. Get them on your roster when they're young and kicking ass for cheap, and you don't have to worry about that headache financially.
All right, number 5, Jacksonville Jaguars. This pick is kind of where it really gets up in the air. I think those first 4 picks have been pretty chalky if you look around the mock draft sphere. This is where we've seen Ashton Jeanty, the Boise State running back, go. This is where we've seen Tet McMillan be a possibility, the Arizona wide receiver. But I'm going to go Mason Graham, the Michigan defensive lineman. To me, he is the cleanest defensive lineman after Abdul Carter. It just, maybe he doesn't have the elite traits of some of these other defensive tackles. Maybe he's not, the prototype for the position. But he uses his hands, and when he takes on blocks, it looks like a guy who's in his 5th year in the NFL. He just has that down pat to his game. And then even if he's not like this strong, physically imposing specimen, he's super agile. And that, for a defensive tackle, that's where more often than not you're winning in the trenches. It's either with power or with that quickness, and he's got that quickness down pat. So for a Jaguars team that really needs an interior disruptor to go alongside those other edge guys that were top draft picks, Mason Graham can be that guy.
And you talk about the offensive tackle and how important playing in the SEC is. When I think about a defensive tackle, I'd hate to play in the Big Ten as well, because there's a lot of action in there, a lot of talent at the running back position, interior offensive linemen all over the board this year from the Pac-12, Big Ten. I played in the Pac-12. It's the Big Ten
Pac-2.
now. The Pac-2 as it is now. Mason Graham, like you said, clean, get him in there. And at number 6, I feel like another guy that's going to step into his jersey and look the part immediately from day one. When I think about the Raiders pick, they've got Chip Kelly on the offensive side of the ball there. So I have to look back at Ohio State and think about some of the things that they implemented that have changed over the years with Chip Kelly. When I played for Chip, we wanted to spread the field as wide as possible. We always had a kick-ass running back. I think about DeAnthony Thomas, Kenyon Barner, the names, it goes on and on and on. We can continue to name names at running back there. He's going to go with Ashton Jeanty. Pete Carroll's going to pair that offense with the 2 tight ends, similar to what they did at Ohio State. They're going to run wild at the running back position. It's going to open things up for Geno Smith. I see it being a tailor-made pick, and there's a lot of people out there who really want Ashton Jeanty that are further down the board, and they're going to have to just clean up their mascara a little bit, because this guy is special. He really is.
Yeah, I don't often advocate drafting running backs this highly, but if you want a sick, dominant running game at the NFL level, I think Ashton Jeanty is fully capable of giving you one, especially behind the Raiders' offensive line. It's pretty darn good right now. You really just need DJ Glaze, your third rounder from last year, to take a step forward at right tackle, and you should have a top 10 offensive line in the NFL, should they be healthy. All right, let's recap the top 6 here. Cam Ward goes 1 to the Titans. Abdul Carter, number 2 to the Browns. Travis Hunter goes number 3 to the Giants. Will Campbell to the Pats. Mason Graham to the Jags. And then Ashton Genty at number 6 to the Raiders.